Hello brothers and sisters of the Imperium, and welcome back to another Chapter Master Morgan video. And today we are going to be doing a review of Imperium Magazine Issue 1. So before we jump in, please do the triumvirate of the YouTube algorithm machine spirit. Make sure to like, follow, and give me a comment down below. Feed that algorithm for me, guys. Okay, so let's jump in. First of all, this video is going to be split into just two sections. One, I'm going to do a really cool unboxing of it. I have already been through the magazine, so we can kind of speed up the content and I can just show you the highlights. I'm not going to flick through or assemble everything bit by bit, otherwise we'll be here all day and that's not a valid use of your precious time you're spending with me today. And secondly, I will be doing a mini Batrep with Sister Superior Bae later on. Inside here, there are basically an introductory little Batrep at the end, a first little training guide on how to play 40k. So if you've never played before, that could be quite useful for you. So I'm going to do a little review of the magazine, and then I'm going to do a little game at the end. And I have had a look at it. It does look quite funny, actually. So anyway, first of all, just to give you some quick context, I joined this hobby, as anyone that knows that follows my channel, just at the tail end of 8th edition at the start of 9th, right? And when I first joined the hobby, I managed to acquire all of the original Conquest magazines that Hachette made. Conquest magazine was the precursor to the new Imperium magazine, and I think they did 78 or 80 episodes. I didn't get all the models and everything, but I originally got it purely because of the same reason that I imagined the Games Workshop make Imperium magazine, to introduce people into the hobby, to get them going from the very basics. Because in these Conquest magazines, I've got them all in binders, every single 80 episode or edition, and they start off very simple with the just introducing you to the game, and then they get slowly more and more complex and build it up. And when I first started the hobby about 14 months ago, it was really good for me to learn. But the problem is that anyone that has these now will have a hard time of shifting them or selling them because the rules in there are 8th edition, and the rules from 8th edition to 9th edition have changed a lot. But I'm really excited to see this. So in a way, Conquest magazine with 8th edition and this new Imperium magazine is 9th edition. And you know what, guys? I didn't think that Hachette, who published this magazine, Hachette Partworks, and Games Workshop would make a 2nd edition, purely just the way the Games Workshop pricing is going at the moment. Pricing is way higher for models than it was in 8th, and I thought to do this, and the first issue, if you can believe it, was $2.99. That's £2.99, which in dollars I think is probably about $5 as an introductory. That is just the introductory price, but inside of it, we'll get down to that now. There's a number of questions I'm asking myself. With my videos, I like to lead questions first. One, is it good value for money? That'll be answered pretty quickly. That's not in debate in this episode at all. But the thing I'm really interested in is I love standard operating procedures. I love seeing how you train people to do stuff. It's what I do in my professional life as well, training people how to, well, creating training programs to train people to do complex tasks with simple, easy to know tasks, because there's no such thing as common sense. Every sense is learned. I'm interested to see in here how easy they make it for new people to learn the game. I'm pretty experienced now. I've had a good few large games of 40k, and also I'm here to see the lore, because actually, even though I've got the Indomitus box set, which was released in the summer of 2020, I actually don't know that much about the Necrons historically, so I'm really interested to see this with a fresh pair of eyes, to see this, how do Hachette and Games Workshop in their editorial introduce you to the lore, because that's one of the most important things for me, is the lore, and not only the lore but also playing the game. Those are the two things that I fell in love with, and I'm really interested to show you today whether Games Workshop and Hachette do a good job of that in here. First of all, let's open this bad boy up. Let's get this glare off the screen. And I'm just going to go through the different components that you get inside the magazine itself. And it is quite a chunky boy. Immediately for $2.99, it comes in this kind of, which is like kind of battered. And by the way, I will say, guys, it is now in the UK at time of publishing only in a trial. You cannot order this from the Hachette website. The actual real magazine is not being released even to premium subscribers, as they've said. We don't know when, even they don't know when if you check the website, but they're saying late summer 2021. So we just don't know. And Mr. Morgan, Chapter Master Morgan, does not like to wait. So first of all, let's look at the components. $2.99, crazy. I can answer the question of whether it's good value for money immediately by glancing at it. First thing we see is 2 sprues here. We have the Indomitus set sprue for the Royal Warden Necron. Show that to you nice and close. And we also have the sprue from Indomitus for the beautiful Primaris Lieutenant. It's probably one of the most beautiful lieutenants in existence, and they do have a lot of lieutenants to choose from now. It's kind of a meme, isn't it? And immediately, if you want to know value of these two, just off the top of my head, I did have a quick browse on Scalper Central, aka eBay, and these go for anything to £5 to £15 each, right? So at worst case scenario, this magazine is already worth £10, not including the magazine content itself, the 6 dice you get here, and this really kind of this ruler that you get, and this ruler. And I must say, I've heard a few people say, well, you don't get any paints with it. I mean, come on, guys. Like, this is already amazing value for $2.99. I'm sorry, but this is worth at best £30 or even more with the extra stuff, and at worst £10. So immediately, economically, value-wise, yes, it's very good value for money, which is why it's already being scalped on eBay for £15 an issue, including delivery. I am very lucky that somebody actually sorted me out with this, so thank you to the person that did that for me. I really appreciate it. And this video is dedicated to you, mate, for sorting me out with this magazine. Trial issue. Okie dokie, so let's have a look inside. First of all, there is the sprues, which we've already gone through. 2 really nice models. We'll see those assembled in a bit. I won't make you sit here and watch me assemble them. I already have them Indomitus painted up. And we have the magazine here, the actual main magazine Imperium. That's one of the components. You get a battle mat, which is about the same size as A3, with basically 2 times A4. So it is a tiny little battle mat. We'll be playing on this in a little bit. And you get basically objective markers to cut out. They're not push out. You actually have to cut around these. I'm not going to be doing that today. And wound counters as well. Yeah, I think maybe they probably could have had those pre-cut out on that. You also get a poster, which we'll have a look at, and another little fold out as well. So let's quickly go through them one by one. What I'll probably do is start with the most simple and work my way forward from that. So the battle mat, as we've just said, it's got objectives on it, objective markers you cut out, and you can use that to play. Yeah, like I said, it would have been nice if they had these separately. You don't have to cut them out. I won't be cutting them out at all. And then it's a double-sided mat, so I assume that in the next issue, because you only get 1 mission per issue, we'll be playing on this side. Okay, that's the battle mat. So far, to recap, 2 amazing miniatures, and they are beautiful models. Battle mat. What do we need to go through next? They have a poster. Now, it is a big boy poster. I'll show it, I'll hang it out there. Hopefully my wide angle lens can pick up enough of that for you to see. I don't think my Bae, Sister Superior Bae, who you'll meet in a little bit again. If you've subscribed to my channel for a while, you know back in the early days when I used this YouTube channel just to upload our Facebook Batreps, she will be joining me later, but I don't think she'll be letting me put up this poster, but I'll ask her and see whether she'll let me. I very much doubt it. But that's a nice poster there. On the back, it's got basically an introduction to all the things that you're going to get in Imperium. I'm not going to go through the whole thing. Like I said, this is a highlight video. I've already had a quick read. What I would like to draw attention to on this, in terms of information-wise, is I really like procedures, as you'll be sick of me saying. First of all, they've put the procedure by which the hobby is constructed so that you can understand it in simple terms. Collect, read, build, paint, and play. That's quite right. Collect the miniature. Most people like the miniatures first and foremost. You go another level. A lot of people like the miniatures and the lore. I personally do. What attracted me to this hobby in the beginning was the miniatures and the lore. I mean, it's probably out of all the hobbies in fantasy-wise in the world, it's got the best lore and miniatures. Build, paint, and play. Now, this is where people get stuck up. So it's in terms of like playing. A lot of people get to the painting, building, and reading section, and they're not that interested in playing. So I really like the idea that this is landed, that I really like the idea that a mum has walked into Asda and she's seen this. Little Timmy has gone, "Mummy, can I have this thing?" And she goes, "Yeah, okay, fine, like whatever." If any of you have seen a superstore in the UK, it's just saturated with all these little build magazines. I didn't realize until I looked myself. But I love the idea of an 8-year-old me, and I actually first fell in love with White Dwarf. I used to hang around when I was much younger, when I was baby chapter master. I used to hang around guys that were a lot older than me, and they were into White Dwarf and stuff. They're about 5 years older than me, so I was 8 and they were 12. And they introduced me to White Dwarf. So an 8-year-old me, if I had seen this, my eyes would be popping out of my head. So I'm trying to look at this through the lens of a young version of me. I will draw attention to this guy here. This is a beautiful model. A lot of people have drawn attention to him. Apparently that's in it. I know that this is everything you're supposed to get from the complete season, which will probably be about 80 episodes, I imagine. This is apparently everything, and it's everything in Indomitus. Beautiful scenery. Quite a lot of bits are actually included in Conquest. These are these armored containers. These Mechanicus pieces I know were definitely included. These beautiful, I'm actually more interested in the terrain than I am the models, because I've got most of the models already. But these terrain walls are absolutely stunning. And there's a lots of, apparently Bobby G is in there, Rabute Guliman. I'll see it before I believe it. I know this is what is supposed to be in there, but I know, sorry GW, I do love you and your products. I'm a shareholder myself, but you do tend to show stuff in boxes in the preview that doesn't actually end up in the boxes. Okay, I could be wrong. I could be wrong, guys. Okay, don't shoot me. That's not a prediction, but I'm just saying that I always like to go into things optimistic, not expecting too much. So if all of this is in here, then that's great. Obviously, that's thousands of pounds worth. There are other videos that go into that in detail. They go into the subscriber stuff, and that's it. You get a cool poster, and they do some upselling on the back. Fair enough. This is a launch issue. It's their first issue. They're going to want to try and sell stuff as much as they can. Okie dokie. So now let's have a look here. So this is the Imperium Magazine. And next is the actual magazine. So let's have a look in here. I did have a read of this, and I must say that I really, really like what's in here. The only problem with it is you will need a binder, because the way that they bind their magazines, they don't really do it properly. This is already the front cover, which has fallen off. Inside you get these upselling things to subscribe, obviously long term. I'm not going to comment on that. I was one of the early adopters back in March, where they did the launch and asked for credit card information, and we put it in, and then they said it was launching, actually being delivered in the end of summer 2021. So I'm not going to comment on that, but that's what that is towards. Upselling, that's fair enough. That's sales and marketing. I do that myself. This is a request to your local newsagent for more issues. Okay, so if you want to request that. And in summary, this magazine, this introductory magazine section here is actually really, really good. It goes through, it introduces you first of all to what the Primaris Lieutenant is, what the Necron Royal Warden is. The funny thing I found here, it really gets you involved and asks you to personalize your lieutenant. And Nianx, please start pronouncing lieutenant properly. It's lieutenant, not lieutenant. And it asks you to personalize the weapons and the sword and the shield. I just find that's so cute. Anything that personalizes it to you, I think is really good. And they do that here. They show you that you can roll a dice and name your noble, your Necron noble. Introduce you to the Space Marines, introduce you to the Necrons. I found that very useful. How to build guide, how to paint guide, although at this stage you won't have any paints, so that is trolling you a little bit. That's probably prepping you. And yeah, more like that. And then they introduce you to the game. So you can see here the structure that they're doing it in. They start with pulling you in with the description of the model, get you involved in that, introducing you to the painting, and then introducing you to the strategy. So they hook you with the painting and that, and then you go through here and introduce you to the key items that you need to play Warhammer 40k. And this is actually really good. If anyone hasn't really played 40k before, these are the key things that you need. Models, magazine, rule book or mission, battle mat, range ruler, dice, wound markers and objective markers. So it's really, I really like the way they've laid this out graphically from a graphic design point of view. The typography is much better than the Conquest magazine. That was one of the other questions I had. Would this be better, or not even better, but as good as Conquest magazine? And from reading it, yes, easily on par. Games Workshop in the past, I work across different business development things, including marketing, graphic design, everything like that. And the one thing I've always thought that Games Workshop have had problems with are their graphic design. And what I mean by that is the typography. A lot of the time their text is over dark backgrounds and it's very difficult to read, but you can even see, even with this wide angle lens, which isn't terribly great at focus, you can see all the text very clearly. Everything's laid out beautifully. So whoever's done the graphic design for this is extremely professional. And then the rules and the setup, which we'll get to in a second. We're going to play this game. Awesome. So the magazine, did I think that was good? Yes, I did. It will need a binder. You can't just keep this magazine loose because like the cover's already fallen off. So far that's really good. There's another little fold out thing. This is a specific, I actually opened this backwards, and this was really useful for me and useful for anyone that doesn't really know about the current war with the Necrons and the Space Marines, this war for Ramesses, which is the system in which the Space Marines, let me get this right, are trying to capture this world which is very rich in a certain kind of chemical or gas resource, and they've discovered Grumpy Grandad there, Grumpy Robo Grandad, the Necrons who are being woken up. So the context of this, it's really good at setting the context before you play your first game, so you can imagine what's going on. The Space Marines have the tip of the sword are the Space Marines, and they have of the Space Marine attack into Ramesses. And this is the first battle of Magaria, and there's this beautiful fold out. Again, this is hole punch, so it folds into the magazine, and a really nice illustration. Again, Games Workshop do a great job of showing you of what you could have won. And that's the fold out there. It gives you the context from the Necron side and the context from the Space Marine side as well. Again, really involving you in the lore, in the context of it. And that's it. That is the unboxing. So just as a quick summary before we jump into actually playing a game, I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to make you watch me assemble these because I already have them painted up and ready to roll from my Indomitus set. So let's jump in with Sister Superior Bae and let's play the first mission in the magazine. Great value, highly recommend it. So just very quickly, these are the two models that you get. You get the Primaris Lieutenant and you get the Royal Warden, the Necron. And these are then painted up. I actually got these from the Indomitus set, so I have the models already. I didn't assemble them and paint them this evening. And they are gorgeous models, as you can see. They're only painted up to my tabletop standard, in the Space Marine in my Jade Fists Ultramarine Successor Chapter color scheme. But they're really beautiful models. And to have these two iconic elite models in the first issue is great. Hello, Sister Superior Bae is joining me here for the Imperium tiny micro Batrep. And we're joined by her, so yes, introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Sister Superior Bae.
And you may recognize her from her very early videos where we used to do Batreps on Facebook. That was the summer of love 2020 when we were on lockdown, and to not kill each other, we decided to do live Batreps, and it was fun, wasn't it? We haven't played a game in absolutely
forever.
I know, right? Like we've just been like doing other stuff. So anyway, let's get down to it. So today, Bae, she's heard me go on enough about Imperium Magazine. So let's just do a quick checklist. Go through the checklist with me, Bae. So first of all, let's make sure that we have the models. Do we have the models?
Got Space Marines and
Necrons.
Marine and a Necron.
Beautiful. And do we have the magazine? Yes, we do. We've got the mission here. Range ruler.
Ooh.
There we go.
Is this new?
It is. It came with the magazine. And also dice. Yes, wound markers we're not doing. For some reason in this magazine, Bae, they ask you to use wound markers, but we're just going to use a dice. Yeah.
Do they give you the wound markers?
Yeah, they do, but you have to cut them out here.
Oh,
I
that's
know,
not
right?
very nice.
No, exactly. They're supposed to look like that, but we're not doing that today. And I already have very nice Gucci objective markers, so hold those up for us. Cool.
Nope.
Nice. Okay, fine. So anyway, let's get down to it. Mission briefing is Warzone Ramesses. The Necron invaders have already begun to transform Margaria into an alien fortress and have across the surface of the moon. So basically the context of this, babe, is that this is a cavern and you've got a very grumpy Necron Royal Warden here who is waking up all of the Necrons who are now asleep.
Okay.
And basically you'll be the Space Marine because you hate playing non-Space Marines, right?
I don't mind because I'm grumpy when I wake up, so I'll be a grumpy.
Okay, fine. So in accuracy to reality, you're going to be a grumpy Necron that's just woken up, all right? And I'm going to be the Chad Space Marine that has wandered into, I don't know why he's on his own, but he's wandered into the subterranean base where he is waking up all of his other Necron friends. So that's the context. I'm not going to read out the entire thing. And basically my position is to stop you from going to the conduits and waking up the Necrons. And your job is to wake up the Necrons by going to the conduits. Does that make sense?
So where are the conduits?
Well, good question. So as we scroll through to the second page, the first objective is set up so basically Primaris Lieutenant goes on B right there. Necron goes on D. Put your grumpy Royal Necron on D there. Perfect. And the objectives E is number 1. So do that for me. Let's race through this. People don't want to spend 10 hours watching a 5-minute bat rep. And 2 goes on C and 3 goes on A. All right. Perfect. So that's done. The thing I really like about this, guys, that they didn't do in Conquest magazine. Bae, do you remember when we played a few Conquest magazines about a year ago now?
So that was different from this?
Yeah, that was 8th, this is 9th. But what's good about this is that they actually include the data sheets on here, as you can see, babe. So they've actually got the data sheets for their move characteristic, ballistic skill, wounds, and save. So basically, and in this, we're not going to be doing the whole round as I mentioned before. We're only going to be, as you can see here in the top right, the moving, shooting, saving and allocating wounds.
Okay.
So there's going to be no fight phase. So if anyone that is professional at this, there's multiple phases: command, psychic, movement, shooting, and also charge, fight, and then morale phase. So in this, there's not going to be any more than just the moving, shooting, save, and allocating.
Okay.
Move. So basically, just the movement phase and the shooting phase is what they introduce you to. And what I also really like, guys, is that they've got these nice little 3D graphics of the models, which I guess are used from the 3D printing, which is really good. So we're going to go through here first. So first up is the Necron Go, babe. So your objective is to move your Royal Warden. So you've got to move your Royal Warden 5 inches towards the first objective point, which is here. So basically you want to get it close to that so that you can activate this particular node there, but you're actually short by a couple of inches.
Yeah.
So now, second stage is you need to shoot my Primaris Lieutenant. Okay. So my Primaris Lieutenant is there. It actually doesn't say the range of the weapon, so we're going to assume that everyone is in range. It just shows a big picture here, as you can see, of him shooting across.
All right.
So you're going to shoot him now. Now let me give you his weapon profile. As it says here, the Royal Warden, and if we just look at the data sheet, the Primaris Lieutenant actually outclasses your model on every stage. He's got move characteristic, I've got move 6, ballistic skill 2, wounds 5, save 3, and you have move 5, ballistic skill 3, so you're hitting on 3s, wounds 4, and save 3.
Okay, so how many shots do I have?
So it also says here that the one thing we have in common is we both have 2 shots. And here it simplifies it. It just says you have 2 dice. So 2 dice hitting on 3s. So he's shooting him across, and he's going to hit him on 3s.
So
you hit once. Okay, so that's that. And then you compare the dice rolls, ballistic skill 3, so you hit that, and it basically tells you that anything below 3 doesn't work.
Yeah.
Cool. So then we need to do my save. Okay, so it then talks about our save here.
I thought you ballistic skill, and then what's next again? I can't
That's
remember.
what we're doing. So yeah, we're doing that. That's it. We're training here, baby.
Oh, see,
Yeah. So this is a tutorial. Remember?
Okay.
Good. So just preempting the questions. So the save now. My save is actually a 3+, it says, so I'm saving on a 3. So you've shot me, 1 went through out of 2, and I save the shot if I hit a 3. And I hit a 4. Move the dice all across there, baby.
Okay.
Awesome, cool. So I saved that, so no damage done to me. So then you allocate wounds. There are no wounds to allocate. Each model, I have 5 wounds and you have 4 wounds. Wounds are how many health points I have, or HP. HP, yeah, exactly. So I can be shot 4 times, and that didn't work. So, and he can be shot I can be shot 5 times. You can be shot 4 times. Yeah. So now it's actually my turn. So my turn. Movement, as we said, movement characteristic of 6 inches. So I can move 6. Now what I'm going to try and do is get in his way. And let's see how we can do that. So you lay it down and I move 6 inches forward, okay? And then that's the movement phase done, 6 inches. And then I am ballistic skill 2. Again, I get 2 shots. So ballistic skill 2 hitting on 2s. Both of them hit 2 2s, as we can see there. Perfect. And so, yep, that's fine. And then we're now on to your save.
Okay.
And your save modifier, according to this, as we said earlier, your save is a 3 and my save is a 3. We've both got, so saving on 3s. 1 save, which means he takes 1 wound. Usually in here, it says to use the wounds, these wounds thing here, but we're just going to use a dice. You've got enough dice in the set, you get 6 dice. So we're just going to put that 1 dice over there, and that will show that he has 1 wound off. So that's that. So then it's the shooting phase again, and it goes back to you. So then basically it just says here to repeat
up until...
So activating the repair nodes, that's what you've got to do. Activating the repair nodes is your objective. If the Royal Warden ends a turn with its base touching the objective marker, it can try and activate the repair nodes. Roll 1d6, 1 dice, and on a 5+, you successfully activate the node. And you do that at the end of your turn. But if you roll a 1, 2, 3, or 4, then the station is broken and you have to move on to the next one.
Oh, that's not nice.
No, I know. So basically,
That's really hard.
neither side will have won at the first turn. To play 3 more turns, start over, blah, blah. If you stay your opponent's model, if I slay the opponent's model, if the Necron player wins the game, if the Royal Warden activates the repair nodes. All right?
All 3 of them. That's a really hard objective to do.
You know what? Like that seems a little bit unfair.
That is really unfair.
Like you've already lost one, so that means you've already lost the game, which is BS in my example. Sorry, Hatchet, Games Workshop.
It is.
I'm going to say if you repair 1, then you've won. If I slay you, then I win 2. So anyway, let's see how fast we can do this. We've already spent 10 minutes on a 5-minute game. Let's rattle through this. So movement phase, go.
I'm just going to move. It's more than
yeah,
that.
exactly.
So
it's more than
base
5.
to base, right?
You need to touch on it like that.
Okay.
There you go. Cool.
So I need to roll 5 and above.
5 and above for what? Sorry.
To activate that.
No. At the end of your turn, do your shooting phase first.
I see.
No, that's your wound.
Oh.
That's why you don't use dice.
Exactly.
Let's take from there. Okay, go. Hitting on 3s. 1 hit, save. 3 saves. Okay.
That's mine.
Okay, you roll your dice. You need to get a 5 to repair the node. No. The node will flip that over to let them know that it's not. My movement phase. Okay, we can use the ruler, but I think we know that he's got a movement characteristic of 6 inches, right? So I'm going to try and block you like that. Okay, cool. Shooting. 2 shots, hitting on 2s. Double 6s. Very nice. Your save?
3 plus.
3 plus.
Well,
2 saves. Okay, your movement phase.
So it's 5 inches, right?
5 inches, yeah. Remember, you can't move for a model, so you're going to need to go around me.
That's
so you're
what I
aiming
do.
for the middle one, are you?
Yeah.
Hey, you need to be to the front of the base, not back of the base. That's a good point. Back of the base, front of the base. Okay, next, shoot. Turn him around, shoot me. What did you get? You have to tell us what you got. 2 1s. Tell us what you got. Okay, fine. My movement phase, I'm going to try and block you like that, so you have to go around me. It's really weird the way I'm just trying to stand in your way, because usually there's a fight phase. 2 2s again, that's so weird. Okay, 2 wounds, save. 1 save, you're down to 2 out of 4 wounds. Oh, it's getting close now.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Your movement phase.
So I can go around, right? If that's 5 inches. Then
Yeah,
I can do that.
you can go around.
I have the
It's
ruler?
next to you there.
Oh.
Anyway, it's 5 inches. You can just leave that
This
there.
is 5 inches.
That's fine. Okay, fine.
I can
Shoot.
1 go through.
1 shot, 1 save. Saving on 2s. Save. The problem is this guy is so much harder than your Necron.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
So I need to roll 5.
4. He's not very good at repairing stuff, is he?
No, it doesn't seem like it.
Okay, my movement. Keep him on there. My movement phase. Like that. I'm going to block you again. Give me a dice. Let me shoot. 4, both hit. You're going to need 1 save. He's down to 3 wounds now. The Necron is almost dead.
Christ.
Again. It's fine. I'll let you go around there. It's okay. You don't need to measure. Okay. That'll do, yeah.
Yeah, both hit.
Both hit. Okay, cool. Saving on 2s. 1 save. I'm down to 1 wound now because I got a 1 instead of a 2 there. So he's on 1. Okay, go. Go. Yeah, fine. I'm going to move around there. Again, that's another 5 inches. It's so weird just trying to stand in your way.
This is like a...
Oh, dude. Both hit. 2 wounds. Save.
But 1 save.
1 save. You're dead. 4 wounds. I win. You can knock him over. The Necron Warrior, and it is triumphant. The Space Marines win. Congratulations, Bae. You have just played the first mission of Imperium Magazine 1, and I found that absolutely ridiculous, not being able to fight. But it's a good way of introducing people that don't know all the stages to the movement and shooting.
I just don't understand why it's 5 plus.
Yeah?
It's just not very... I know.
Yeah.
Anyway, my rolling's not very good tonight.
No, okay. But anyway, thanks for that, babe. Love you. And we'll see you on the next Chapter Master Morgan video. Take care, guys. Remember to like, subscribe, and comment down below, all right? You take care. The Emperor protects.